Daniella Monet is the latest former child actor to call out Nickelodeon. Some of the wardrobe on the show was not age appropriate, and that she, quote, wouldn't even wear some of that today as an adult.
Dan Schneider isn't safe from anyone, and now a former Nickelodeon star is coming forward. Daniella Monet played Trina on Victorious, and she was great, but she made a mistake by going to Nickelodeon and complaining about Dan. She felt uncomfortable performing in the scenes he wrote, and she also felt like her outfits were too revealing for a kids show. Ultimately, Nickelodeon did nothing, and Daniella was punished by Dan. So let's get into it. So let's talk about Victorious, because Daniella Monet recently spoke to Business Insider about Dan Schneider and the inappropriateness on his shows. She even spoke about a time where they complained to the network and they were punished for it. Nickelodeon did nothing. Let's start from the beginning. Daniella started working for Dan Schneider back in 2006 on the show Zoe 101. From that point on, Daniella actually impressed Dan with her acting, and he wanted her to be a main character on another one of his shows. In 2010, she landed the role of Trina Vega in Victorious, which she played Tori Vega's older sister, who was considered untalented. Throughout the first season, they had Daniella in some outfits that were sometimes revealing for a kids show. There was a scene that Daniella found too sexual in Victorious, and she ended up calling the heads of the network at Nickelodeon about it. People speculate that the scene that she's talking about comes from the episode titled The Wood, where Trina and Robbie get hit with white lotion, which it looks like it's supposed to represent like a male ejaculating onto them, which isn't appropriate for a kids television show.
You two were fighting, and you yanked Festus right out of his grub truck, and now he's in the hospital.
I just wanted a tamale.
Well, you went and broke his tamale-making arm, so now what?
We're sorry.
Yeah, well, until Festus is out of the hospital, you two are gonna work the grub truck.
Gross!
Trina?
I'm not gonna... Why should I...
That's disgusting, and the network did nothing about this or Daniella's complaint, which, are we really surprised? Hi guys, so since I filmed this video, there has been more information that has come out, and it actually turns out that supposedly, allegedly, the scene that Daniella complained about was a pickle scene where she was putting on lip gloss. I still don't know if this is 100% certain the scene that she's talking about, but here's a clip where I found information about this.
Also recalls contacting Nickelodeon about a Victorious scene in which she eats a pickle while applying lip gloss to express concern that it was too sexual. It aired anyways.
Based off of what many writers and crew members have said about Dan Schneider's temper, it seems like you don't want to piss him off because he will retaliate. One of Dan Schneider's former writers named Arthur spoke out and claimed that he had worked for Dan Schneider for 6 years, and he said that Dan was, quote, unreasonably demanding, controlling, belittling, and vindictive. So if you go and tell on him, he's going to come back and go after you. He also said, quote, with a willful disregard for boundaries or workplace appropriateness, which I hate a toxic work environment. I've been in so many toxic work environments in my own life, so it seems like Dan Schneider is like the pinnacle of it all. And it does seem like Dan Schneider tried to get back at Daniella. In the second season of Victorious, there was an episode titled Who Did It to Trina, where Daniella's character almost gets murdered, and it's done in a comedic way where there are different versions of why someone would try to hurt Trina. As we know by now, Dan Schneider likes to sneak some things into his shows, like feet, so I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to sneak some revenge into an episode. In 2020, Dan Schneider was on webcam with Rex the puppet, and in the episode, Rex ends up being the one who cut Trina's cable, hurting her. As some have said in the past, his writing goes beyond feet. This episode was written by Dan Schneider himself, and it seemed like he was trying to target Trina, aka Daniella, probably for speaking out about him. Dan Schneider Schneider loves to place Easter eggs in his shows and hint at certain elements. He allegedly wrote this episode as a way to get back at Daniella for targeting him to the network. The episode ends with Rex saying, "Nobody suspects the puppet." Could there be subliminal indication that Rex the puppet is like the creator Dan Schneider? But it does seem like Daniella and Dan have some personal beef, which is surprising because stars like Ariana Grande and so many others still get along with Dan. There's only a handful like Jeanette and Alexa who have spoken out against him. But from 2012 to 2013, Daniella and Dan unfollowed each other and refollowed each other on social media. Daniella was the only one on the Victorious cast to receive this odd behavior and treatment from Dan. And there were a bunch of fans of the show who noticed and complained to Dan about this unfollowing. In the last season of Victorious, it seemed like they were trying to write off Trina. Daniella appeared less and less, and sometimes only in one scene. And this reminds me of other Nickelodeon stars who have been written off by Dan Schneider, like Angelique Bates or Brian Hearns or Alexa Nicholas. There are a lot of other stars who have gone against Dan and then they just end up off the show. So ultimately, Victorious was canceled in 2012. We may never know the real reason why the show was canceled, but if it wasn't canceled, if it kept on going, I believe that Dan would have written Daniella out and she would have not been part of the show. There would have been no more Trina, which is crazy because Trina was so successful, and I believe she even like did a show going around playing this character. So it's like Dan really has something personal with this character that he would write her out even though she's a great part of the story. And just to clearly recap what happened. So Daniella told Business Insider that she felt uncomfortable from a scene in the show. This probably would have been during season 1. The episode The Wood aired in February 2011. Daniella complained about this scene being super inappropriate, and Dan Schneider got back at her in season 2. Season 2 was filmed from October 2010 to March 2011, which would have been the time frame that the episode Who Did It to Trina was created. So this is a clear example of a star going to a network, complaining about the creator, making them feel uncomfortable, and then they are punished for this. Keep in mind that Daniella also shared that she felt like her outfits were a little bit too revealing and she felt uncomfortable with this. So I am proud of her for speaking up, but I do feel like there's so much more to this story that we could learn. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. When it comes to toxic work environments, just like, please do not allow them to happen. Do not allow them to occur. Comment below if you guys have had an experience with the toxic work environment. I made a video about my experience working at Chick-fil-A. It was horrible. It was so toxic. It was hell on earth. But here is my email if you guys have any other video ideas for me, and I'll see you guys in a new one soon. Bye, guys.